Welcome to the Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Now, today, I'm going to break down the quote-unquote anti-gang laws. We're telling you to say, anti-gang is basically the name that it is known as, but the official name is the Criminal Justice or Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act. And they call it anti-gang, but the Suppression of Criminal Organization Act. Type it out to you now. No fun in all learn and never will. But for the 1,700,000,000th time, you cannot defeat something you don't understand. You're punching in the dark. So make a bag of noise, spewing out random, emotionally charged statements. That might work with some things, like when you talk about which football you like more. But when you talk about things like law, you need to be a bit more precise. But you don't know how to learn. That's how I keep take the puppy show over and over. I go break down anti-gang. I go show you how Justice Sykes could have given them sentencing. Now, make we get into it. After a black man gets sentenced, you would have seen all over the internet, and I've been getting bombarded with messages, mainly from the World Sprat fans. They've been in disarray. You see, this is proof. This is proof. Let me try and do my best World Sprat man imitation. You see it? You see it? This does show us a system of fight against the artist. Me I say, look how much time he get, and look how much time black man get. And me I say, and nobody not get them time, nobody not get 35 years for parole. Me I say, that just show you say, the system of fight, me I say, the system of fight against him, I just throw it on me I say, because I'm just through. Weeping and moaning and gnashing of teeth. And I guess they're messaging me because they think they have a gotcha moment. My brother said there's nothing will make a certain sector of the internet happier than trying to catch the little YouTuber and a gotcha moment. But just like a child who learns something basic and come to you trying to flex their quote-unquote knowledge. You ever say that when Pitney try like show you, say yeah, and they're like, Daddy, did you know? And then you like pat them on the head like, it's not really how it works, son, man. Good try though. Good try. That's how you have to do them, like a child. I almost feel sorry for them. More the World Sprat fan base can understand. Matter of fact, right across the board, the various DJs fan base can understand. People, political parties and the MPs, and the matter to the political and entertainment group want to understand. I am not your enemy. Your enemy is logic, reason, and common sense. That's what you battle against. You're not battling against me. The idea that somehow the World Sprat getting this time is proof that this is to fight against because nobody else can get this is utter rubbish. There's no point dressing it up. We need to call a spade a spade. A foolish narrative. But then I'm going to play a clip from the World Sprat in this video. When I got here in basically make them know say his loyalists them understand enemy system. I go play the clip and then you come to your own conclusion with myself. Matter of fact, this morning, as in the day this video is dropping, there's a story in the Observer of a man named Siobhan Richards. He was sentenced to life in prison. And he's not eligible for parole until after serving 34 years and 7 months. That's basically 35 years. Same like the original time of the World Sprat. You get the original time. The exact same as your favorite by Spratwell DJ. He up on your screen just this morning. I know it sounds lazy when it comes down to reading and researching, but you don't even have to go back. and study for years, and it's right just this morning I sentencing him out. 34 years and 7 months. It's a system fighting against Siobhan and Richard because him a DJ and because him have the use them and because him make so much money and because him buy the Benz. No, you wouldn't say that, would you? Because that would sound stupid. All you have to do is take a little time, do some research, see if there's a precedence. But we know, as me say, you end up on anything that requires too much work. How about Linton Berry? See, I know I'm not left this year. I'm not even left 2023. I'm giving the case 10 easy. But don't even have to do a big research and a big digging up. I'm not going to library go look through the encyclopedia. Just this year, see. Linton Berry just released for doing 35 years. For one murder. So, see, I just one man and him get 35 years for parole. And see, black man, they kill about 500 man, and them only get, and 39 years. Man, yeah, the system, enough against. Getting charged for murder. Just, pick up a murder charge. Will get you more time than if you get charged for the same murder by an anti-gang. That's why your favorite artists get that time. It's not unusual people get them time, as you just see. And they say it wouldn't be a problem if the people weren't constantly taking me up. And so, yeah, see they show you, say, yeah man, see. The argument is stupid, but as I say, I expect no less from the people who the world spread describe literally as him cheat them. Your idol, the idol we worship, thinks you're an idiot. Remember, your favorite artist, right? So time una mouth say he's a shepherd and I'm sheep and can't tell him anything. No matter how stupid, I only believe it. So I don't expect any better. Disappointment comes from expectation. So the fan base, your favorite artist and fan base, my expectation of them is very low. So therefore when this come out and people then, you see the YouTube and I get bombarded with the messages thinking like they have some kind of gotcha moment because nobody gets 35 years for parole for one murder. It's in line with what I expect. Remember, these are the same group of people who used to argue and fight with people. Say a cake soap make World Sprat turn in a Chris Brown. A cake soap the man use and you hear the man say at the AC. The man say him have the AC in him house and the AC plus the cake soap. The man some soak on the man now, the man the bad man and the man said World Sprat said it's knowing these people are going to believe it because World Sprat deep down don't think same fan base have no sense. Matter of fact, let me play the classic Observer clip.
It's cream, but just do what I feel like. Me have about 1 million tattoo. All my tattoo them up a show. If me not cake soap on my skin.
So why did you say a cake soap then? You say a cake soap just for the fun night?
Yeah, because I know people are going to buy into it. Remember, people are like sheep, and I am the shepherd, They're easy for the lead. And then they're easy for the lead. It's so easy, it's like, it's hilarious. Yeah, because I know people are going to buy into it. Remember, people are like sheep, and I am the shepherd, They're easy for the lead. And then they're easy for the lead. It's so easy, it's like, it's hilarious. Because you say cake soap, everybody take it up. Oh, cake soap, this cake soap, every day upon Vybz Kartel and cake soap. Yeah. Every day upon all of the video program. Vybz Kartel and cake soap. So when me just do know, cool, I'm going to see the cake soap. It's more fame, more money for Vybz Kartel. And it's like, them not see what I want, because me telling you what me I do now, and them read it, them still are going to be who them is the next day. When you do something, them are going to buy into it again. Yeah. And the concept are going to go over and over and over again, because that is what people are.
And me I said this, the world of your DJ said that a while ago. So when them tell me, see, I'm not nothing for doing a lizard murder, I'm not nothing for doing a gang, and just because he knows so you're going to repeat it, because as he just said, I'm on the shepherd, and when I'm LIQ sheep, so let me say, We're not enemies. I wrestle not against LIQs, politician and entertainer groupies, or a threat to national security. To the already, so for the people who drop an Iron Man and get hailed as geniuses. I mean, he's so smart, they're so smart, they're bottom of the shelf in their homeland. Right. But then drop an Iron Man and stand up next to people who the world spread just talk about, the people who last saw cake soap making brown. Suddenly, they look smart. We don't know what people up against. Research, common sense, magic. That's why I'm doomed to get played over and over by basic tricks from basic tricksters. Not too long ago, quote-unquote Chief Curry had in a head in a headlock. Now the dog use a swag. Right? And a couple viral social media videos. You were ready, right? We go march behind our man. It's clearly a puppet. So now, I'm going to anti-gang. Because there are other people who say, look at YouTuber. Why you single out anti-gang? Right? As to why the sentence is because anti-gang laws are separate. Right? For psycho in uncles and place, when you get charged, you can get charged for a murder or you can get charged under the RICO Act. It's a whole different act. Right? I keep saying law, but in the legal terms they say you have the act. The Firearms Act, the Bail Act. Right? I can break it down. Incredibly, something that was designed to quote unquote stop gangs and dismantle them. Well, I guess that's what I thought it was for. Based on me, I say it looks so, but right, that's what them say. But something that was supposed to design to, get rid of gangs actually benefits gang members. Because it is better if you get charged with murder under anti-gang than if you get charged with murder without anti-gang. Shooting and killing one man and getting arrested and charged with that will get you more time than if you shoot and kill a man as a part of a gang and you get sentenced under a big anti-gang case. Don't ask me which genius came up with this. It's a separate sentencing guide. I can break it down for you and show you why your favorite judge could do what he do. As big as he want to be, he can be all the Chief Justice he want. He still has to operate within a sentencing guidelines, means him have only per room, right, to do what him feel is best, right, in that particular case. Right. The anti-gang laws, right, are the telling already what the official name. Right. We know say I don't really care about them things. I'm more interested in which DJ are this who want who breed for who. But if you're interested in reading the whole act, it's called the Criminal Justice. Right? Just search for them, Roger. The Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act. Right? And at Jamaica upon it too. And you'll be able to go through it. But may I go through the sentencing part now. Just so you understand why your favorite judge could do what him do. Now, I'm going to put some up on the screen, but listen now. I'll give you the brief description of the offense, right, and then I'll give you the penalty for said offense. Forming or establishing criminal organizations. On conviction, on indictment in a circuit court, to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 25 years. Meaning, if you were to form a Klansman tomorrow, if you form, right, as in you're the original set of man, them will build a gang. If you build a gang tomorrow, right, you build one another, you build Stone Crusher tomorrow morning, and then you get arrested and charged on an anti-gang for building, right, a Stone Crusher. Right. Upon conviction, right, you will be sentenced to a term not exceeding 25 years. In other words, you cannot do more than 25 years for forming, right, Jankonation. That means that the judge now have up to 25 years to play with. that means you might get 24, you might get 19, you might get 5. So depending on which judge you go in front of, so we know say if you go in front of Judge Sykes, you know say you probably get about 3.5. So when it's not exceeding, that means it is a very long rope to play with. So somebody who is looking at this and thinking himself, him want farm for him on a gang. He's thinking worst case scenario, I'm gonna ever come across is 25 years. And it's very rare the judges touch the upper limit. Right? After when they say not exceeding, it's very rare them go up to the upper limit. Because now they're going to factor in saying you put on one treat. They're going to factor in say, oh, the people in the community say nice things about him as if they were going to say bad things about the dam. Listen to this one. Recruitment of child to criminal organization. Let me repeat. Recruitment of child. So you bring a little juvenile in the gang now. On conviction, be sentenced to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 20 years. And where the offense is committed within 300 meters of a school or any other education institution, then you will get an additional time, but that additional time does not exceed 10 years for recruiting a child in a gang. And if you recruit the child near to one school, then you can get an additional time, but the additional time cannot go over 10 years. Now that extra part about near a school, that doesn't make sense. Right? Like gangs don't stand up outside of one gate like, hey man, here's a lollipop. You wanna join a gang? Let me tell you to them, these laws are written by people who don't understand how the real world works. So them adding that thing, say them do something now, and it's like, okay, whatever. Recruitment of adult to criminal organization. And conviction in a circuit court. Right. A term, you'll get a term not exceeding 20 years. So, at the same time you get for recruiting a child as an adult. At the same 20 years. Except them add on the part about the fit near a school, but scratch that because the bad now recruiting up in outside in a school gate. Right? And so gang recruit penny. So 20 years if you recruit an adult, 20 years if you recruit. Now, how do you prove somebody recruited someone gang? Think about it. Right. Let's say me recruit sci-fi. Right? I mean bring sci-fi in my badness. And they around me, I'm gonna show him the ropes. You know, nobody. You notice in the previous Klansman trial, anybody get discharged because it is almost impossible to prove. Because if a me recruit sci-fi, then sci-fi, I will go testify in a court say, I'm me recruiting. But sci-fi is likely on trial too in an anti-gang. So me that be sci-fi done. So let me use two examples. Black man and CJ. Black man on trial, CJ on trial. Let's say a black man recruit CJ. We're both on trial. None of us are witnesses. How you gonna prove this? These laws are written by people who don't understand. This is all theory. They're like, yeah, because the child outside of the school within 50 meters get recruited by the gang. Them don't understand how gangs work. Being a part of, participating in or facilitating serious offences by a criminal organization. Remember now. When you hear the little time that I get with you, this is the one I need to focus on. Being a part of, participating in, or facilitating serious offense by a criminal organization. Ready for this? Are you ready for this? On conviction, you'll be sentenced to a term not exceeding 5 years. 5, not exceeding 5. In other words, you can do 1 for being a part of, participating in, or facilitating serious offense. You know what them count as serious offenses, right? By criminal organization. Are you starting to realize how these times are so low? And like, how comes mama get this? How comes black man get this? How comes CJ get... Now you see why it is written in law. So even if so, I'm gonna have one big fuss, big arrest, big anti-gang, be a case numbers put out, look like say something bigger will go on. And after them prove say you are a part of the gang and you participated in serious offences by the gang, on conviction in a resident magistrate's court, you will get no more than 5 years. Now, if you get convicted in a circuit court, right? Listen to this now. If for the first time you get found guilty of being a part of the gang, right? First offense, right? You can get sentenced to a term not exceeding 20 years. And if for your second offense, you can get sentenced to a term not exceeding 25 years. Again, when you see not exceeding, right? Just shake your head. You know why? Because not exceeding means up to. So when you see not exceeding 20 years, it can be 5, it can be 3, it can be 15, it can be 20. It no mean nothing. It mean whatever the judge feel like doing. I'm saying if you drop in front of a certain judge, you can't come back out in a one. It no mean nothing. So if you get convicted for being part of the gang, right, no man now lose no sleep. Right. That's how Muma, one of the most senior members of the gang, right, only get them time. You know, not just start to make sense? Is it starting to make sense? Are you starting to understand how the sentences came about? Alright, listen to this one now. Leadership, management, or direction of criminal organization. Alright. This is for the Don and the senior members. Management, on conviction and indictment in a circuit court to a imprisonment term not exceeding 30 years. Again, not exceeding 30 years. So when Black Man did get, I think it was 21 and a half years if I'm not mistaken, for being leader of the gang, the judge gave up to 30. Him could have get 30 on the charge there alone. Sykes gave him 21 and a half. This is why I'm telling us, right, the Black Dog won the mental battle, right, with Judge Sykes. As me say, don't for this tip on your screen so you can just read along or do what you should be doing, which is to go read up the whole act for yourself. Where you can see things like knowingly providing a benefit to criminal organization, right, on conviction in a circuit court, right, you're not getting no more than 20 years. Knowingly obtaining a benefit from criminal organization, right, no more than 15 years. Concealing proceeds of the criminal activity, in other words, you help hide the money or something like that, no more than 20 years. Knowingly aiding and abetting criminal organization or becoming an accessory before or after the fact in carrying out serious offense, no more than 20 years. If you look down the line, all you see is not exceeding 20 years, not exceeding 20 years. In other words, no part of anti-gang, right, allows a judge to sentence nobody for more than over 30 years. The biggest charge on it is leadership of the gang, and that is a term not exceeding 30 years. So now you see how killing one man, right, will give you life, right, and you can get parole till 34, 35 years. But if you get charged under anti-gang and get the most serious of charge, which is leadership, you cannot do more than 30. Anti-gang is not set up to fling with gang members. Listen to this one. Taking retaliatory action against former participant in criminal organization. In other words, somebody used in the gang, right, and now they're no longer in the gang, so right, you have to do them something now. A term not exceeding 20 years. That's a brief run through of the sentence. Now, you understand what I say, my anti-gang is a joke. It can't be anti-gang if the gang only go away for 5-6 years, because we see man the 10 years of jail and come back, come kill. The celebrated anti-gang as if it was the Jamaican version of the American RICO laws. That's the way how anti-gang was promoted, like say, promoted stop gang, but based on the sentencing we just say, not exceeding 5 years, not exceeding 15 years. Not you're going to get 20 years, because the difference, you know. Open understand how wording important, you know. So now may I ask the question, why have they set those hard limits at 20? Most of them are 20 years, not exceeding 20 years. So I'm going to say the majority is not exceeding 20 years. Now ask yourself this question, if they really want this man to count, what kind of hard limit that them set at 20 and 25? When most 87s are young men who, after them get 5 years, 9 years, 10 years, them still can't come back to cover the place. One of them was not exceeding 5 years. 5 years is a joke. Like, on the same Klansman trial, one of them get sentenced to like a year and a half. And them say, oh, factor in there jail. Alright, so 5 years total, 6 years total. Them time down and nothing. So, and then even if you add count on top of count, right? So now you get count 1, count 5, count this, count that. The judge then say, alright, run them concurrently. It's not like say anti-gang mention, alright, even though no time exceed 20 years or 25 years or 30, but every charge must run consecutively. Just the addition of that, so every charge must run consecutively, change anti-gang for good. Because now, a Dan or 87 a look on it, say, hold on. If me get charged on 3 counts, and me get charged, right, not exceeding 20 years on 1, not exceeding 20 years on 2, not exceeding 20 years on 3, even if me get 15 out of 20 on each 3 charge, consecutively, that's 45 years. That's a whole different kind of thinking now. Right? Now me have to start do some serious thinking. So this is how a black man end up get charged 4.5 years, right, for doing with him. If he was charged separately from anti-gang, then you could have hold him, right, on a conspiracy charge and give him life, 34, 35 years for parole. But on anti-gang, black man can get 4.5 years to do it. Because based on how the sentencing them, based on how the offenses and the sentencing are set up, he might get charged for the offense closely relating to the murder, but then the judge is operating on a not exceeding 20 years. Not exceeding 25 years. But if he was being charged on just a conspiracy, right, murder charge, if he was being charged on a capital murder, a premeditated murder, then it would be life and X amount of years for parole. With anti-gang, not send nobody away for life. Anti-gang does not sentence you to life. It is the fatal flaw of a law that is supposed to stop the most destructive, right, gangs in the country. But the people who be a part of this gang, none of them can be sentenced to life on anti-gang. It is an incredible oversight. Or maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Let's just call it what it is. They're not going to use. Right? I'm being generous here about oversight. They're not going to use. Right? Your favorite leaders, them, right? The best and the brightest minds, them with them claims. I'm sorry, I don't know. They can't explain this. How can anti-gang not have a life sentence attached to it? But a standard murder charge, so that means you're a gunman with 15 victims. A gunman will get charged on 5 counts as a part of anti-gang is better off than the gunman who get catched for 1 murder without anti-gang. They're not ready yet. Your scholars and your leaders and the Jamaican people, listen, let's be honest here, we're not ready. When they say we want to build nation and build this and make, we're not ready. It makes no sense. You're better off getting catched on anti-gang with 5 counts of murder to your name than getting catched with 1 without anti-gang. So what kind of anti-gang? This is not anti-gang, it's pro-gang. It benefits you to get charged on anti-gang. If I was a 87, right, especially after seeing what going on with clans, I would celebrate. I'd be like, whew, thank God. People be like, look at YouTuber, you see them charge you for murder. I'd be like, charge me for murder? What, conspiracy for murder? No man, anti-gang. Oh, whew. For a second there, I was a bit worried, but now everything good, man. These people have somehow created a law, an act, that is supposed to stop gangs, and have actually made it better for gangs to get catched on that act. CJ would I get life, right, with 30 odd years before parole if he never get charged for anti-gang. If Rete Blacks and them money they get convicted for murder, you know, see them back for at least 3 decades. But the whole of the man them on anti-gang, except black man, people are gonna see them back before this decade done. Right? I think it's only black man and right, a few of them get over 10 years. So now let's look at it as a whole. I try to start off with about 60 people. Right? Get cut down to about 28 people. Right? Then in the end, only 15 got convicted. And out of the 15, right, even people like Mama, who was a boss in the gang, got like 9 years. Right? Man, I get 1.5 years. Man, I get discount for this. Judge, I say, oh well, he put on 1 treat, and so I take off some time for that. And the rest of the island, the rest of the country, I sit and I scratch them head. If you were a gunman in Ironman, this would be the best time to be alive, because now you're seeing that, well, the legislation with them say are going to stop me. Even if them catch me upon it, even if them convict me, which is unlikely, right? This is what 87 I think, 60 people, 45 getaway, the odds are in my favor. But even if, me up at the 15, we might get 18 months, we might get 9 years. I could be the equivalent of a mama in my gang and get 9 years. People who are serious, read up the anti-gang from start to finish. Start off sounding like, yeah man, this is it, but just look down at the bottom when you start get to the sentencing. It's madness. This is what I'm telling you, sir. You have to look at the legislators, look at your MPs and your senators. When there's this vague, the system, one aim so. Be specific, your leaders them. Ask your MP, did you sign off on this? Mr. Senator, you sign off on this? Do you not realize that most of this is not exceeding 20 years? And the judge have complete freedom to give concurrent sentences. So 87 we get charged with life for 1 murder and a conspiracy charge. But if you get charged with 3 murders, part of anti-gang, you can do 10 years. Them say leave it to the judge, that the judges have the ability to. No. If everywhere you see, if not exceeding gets changed, let me show you how anti-gang can change their money. If not exceeding 20 years became no less than 20 years, I'm not going to see something. Man start think long and hard. But at the moment, there's nothing to be afraid of. So. If you're a gunman, then if you're 87, if you're a gang member, if you're forming a gang, building a gang, sponsoring a gang, there's nothing in that anti-gang to make you lose no sleep. Right. Man that jail now goes some place for child support charges. Right. We get more time than we. Right. You just see man get as being a part of a Klansman. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Be here, you don't know, more like Ultra squad, stay circling, bless.